What's going on, dudes? Welcome back to my channel. So today, got another Gibson for you. Now, I just finished up a couple days ago doing my Gibson Les Paul Standard review. I'll leave a card to that if you haven't checked it out. It's done very well, got a lot of good feedback from you guys, so thanks a lot for that. But today, got another classic Gibson. We got a 2018 Gibson Flying V. Now, what I've seen with Gibson again, been getting a lot of bad press on the internet, and I think what a lot of people have seen is a lot of problems with the custom shop and the Les Pauls, but you don't really see much being said about their Vs except for that thing. I personally like it. A lot of people don't like it. But anyway, so today got a straight up Gibson V. So some specs about it. You got V-shaped solid mahogany body, gloss finish on the back, front, and as well as back of the neck. The color is wine cherry, 24 3/4 scale. The fretboard is Torfai Granadillo, I think that's how you say it. It's not rosewood, although it looks and feels and plays like rosewood in my opinion. 12-inch fretboard radius, medium frets, 22 frets, dot inlays. First bucker 2 and 3, first bucker 2 in the neck, first bucker 3 in the bridge, and no coil taps, master tone, 2 volume knobs. Pretty standard stuff, but as always, gotta know what it sounds like, right? So this song is called Starlit Cavern. It's on my new EP, Luna Muerta. Run through my Axe effects, as well as a stock plugin through Logic. And beginning tapping stuff, you'll see what I'm talking about, the ambient stuff. And so when the song's over, we'll come back, I'll talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, positive, negatives of this guitar, and just an overall summary. this isn't necessarily a negative for this guitar in particular, but just the V in general. If you've never played a V, it is extremely awkward to play. You can't play it up here. You gotta play it as like a classical guitarist would, sitting down. So, little tip, let's get a strap, and then bam. Another negative is it's impossible to stay in tune. Now, I don't know if that's it. I'm pretty naive with these, but the break angle on the nut there's not a straight pull, it's always at an angle, which is the problem with the Les Paul on the D and the G string, because the angle's so sharp, they tend to stay out of tune. So I don't know if that's something that Gibson Vs have trouble with, is staying in tune, but I could not keep this thing in tune for more than like 2 takes on a song. So it was definitely a negative and kind of a drawback for me. Now, another negative that could be for some, but not for all, is V's doesn't have a lot of wood to it, and it's extremely light. I mean, I would say it doesn't weigh any more than 5-6 pounds. It is not like a Les Paul or anything. The sound is very snappy, almost like a Strat kind of thing, just like very percussive. It's hard to explain unless you're playing through it and you have one in your hand. It's hard to translate it through a video, but it's rather snappy and percussive, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, it doesn't have that huge low end, in my opinion, that Les Paul has, or something with a lot of chug to it, you know what I mean? So those are my negatives. Overall, the only real negative with this guitar is it couldn't stay in tune. The other stuff is just, you know, preference, I would say, in terms of the weight and in terms of the shape. So the positives, incredibly low action. Picked this thing up at Guitar Center, and then it had 9s on it. It's got 11s on it now, but when it had 9s on it, it was just so easy to play, and it feels really comfortable. No fret buzzing. No fret buzzing at all. It's really easy to play, especially if you're a V player. So another positive is the neck shape of this V. Now, it goes from like a C shape to a D shape as you go up, so I guess you can shred. It's only got a 12-inch fretboard radius, but it doesn't feel like a Les Paul neck at all. It's also not asymmetrical like the Les Paul is of 2018. It just doesn't feel like a Gibson. It feels like its own thing, which I thought was a positive. One last positive is acoustically. Again, it could be a positive or negative. Very loud, very percussive sounding, and I personally took that as a positive because it's got this huge, I mean, you hit a B5 power chord and it's ringing. And so when that translates to distortion and through a mix, I mean, I thought it was definitely sounded pretty cool. Just lacks the low end because not a lot of wood there. That's the Gibson V of 2018. An honest opinion, don't like it as much as the Les Paul that I demoed. I like this guitar, however there are some serious problems with it, mainly the tuning. Keeping it in tune was definitely a struggle, and if you're thinking about buying one of these or want to try one out, I recommend getting locking tuners. Again, the Les Paul had Grover locking tuners on it, and I never had an issue. So, in comparison to the Les Paul, I definitely would pick the Les Paul before this guitar. Still a badass guitar, but that is the 2018 Gibson Flying V. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like my video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on my next video. Stay metal, dudes, and I will see you next time.